Hey, what's up guys, Rip here. So today I'm going to be once again talking about Idubbbz, who finds himself currently in a very difficult position. Now over the past couple of years, Idubbbz has embarked on what he describes as a journey to better himself. However, to the neutral observer, that journey to better himself looks a lot more like a slow-moving car crash designed to ruin his career and reputation, to the point where it seems like this is all an elaborate humiliation ritual. But beyond just his career and reputation, we're now seeing a lot of blows to his financials, because he's had several events that have garnered major losses for Idubbbz. And once again, this might be a possibility with Creator Clash 3. Right now, we just got a post only about an hour before recording this video that they're going to be making a public statement about Creator Clash 3. Many people suspecting, because of everything tied to this event right now and all of the negative aspects, it might be some major news regarding a potential cancellation of this event. Now, in case you're not familiar, what is Creator Clash? Well, it's an event set up by Idubbbz, 3 years running now, where basically it's a round of celebrity boxing matches, but with content creators, where they punch each other in the ring, and it's a big party surrounding it. But also there is a charitable aspect, so once everyone in the event is paid, all of the surplus is given to various charities. And it's not too surprising that the first Creator Clash did really well, not just entertainment-wise, but also financially. They made enough to have a good surplus to give away to charities, and honestly, a pretty big W. You look at this whole thing, on its face, a pretty good idea, right? I think it's a pretty good idea to bring content creators and just have them punch each other in the face and have a good party around it. But also there was the charitable aspect, which is of course a good thing and something commendable that Idubbbz did, no matter how you feel about him. But the problem is it went too well in some regard, because I guess it made Ian a bit cocky. So they returned with Creator Clash 2. And as you can see by this title, addressing how badly it went, the harsh reality of Creator Clash 2, it didn't go well. In fact, it was a major financial blow to Idubbbz. They were not able to even cover the cost of the event itself, which came out of Ian's pocket. And then, of course, because of that, there was no money given away to charity.
We lost $250,000 on the event. The way that this typically works for anyone who's unaware is that once our expenses are paid off for the event, like all the minimums of broadcasting, the hotel, travel, all that sort of stuff, once that's all paid off, then we can start paying the charities. Unfortunately, we didn't even reach the break-even point, right? We're $250,000 in the red. That's sort of what I've been grappling with over the past couple of months, is like, what the hell are we gonna do? You know, I can't even think about doing a Creator Clash 3. We lost money and there's no money for charity. So what are we gonna do to solve that? I don't I don't have a good solution.
So reflecting on the terrible performance of Creator Clash 2, what does Idubbbz do next? Well, of course, you know the answer. That's just move on to Creator Clash 3. I have absolutely no idea how he and anyone involved in this thought it was a good idea. This was underwhelming from the jump. It should have ended with Creator Clash 2. It should have been a lesson, but here we are. So there's a lot going on with this event that's taking place in June. There's been basically no promotion. That's problem number one. I'm sure a lot of people watching this video, this is the first time you even heard about Creator Clash 3, despite it being a huge event in the content creation scene. But things get even worse when you start looking at the matchups, because they're pretty underwhelming. So here's the list of names. You can read them for yourself as we scroll through, and we'll return to Harley in just a second. But I don't know about you guys. I recognize maybe like 3 names on this list. I'm not going to lie. It's pretty crazy that he wasn't able to get some more recognizable names. Now, of course, this is the internet and content creation. I'm in my own little echo chamber, so maybe I'm a little biased. Just because I don't know someone doesn't mean they're not super popular, but I feel like I'm in the majority here, where I feel like most people don't really know a lot of these names. In fact, probably the most recognizable name is Harley Morenstein, who's on this the title card here. He's basically the cornerstone of this whole event. And unfortunately for Idubbbz, he's dropped out. He dropped out 2 days ago, and this is a very big blow to the event. They also have to find a replacement. It's not just losing one of the bigger names. They have to find a replacement, or this event just isn't going to go on the way that they had promised. And the reason he dropped out, We don't know officially. But of course, this comes in reaction to the last couple of weeks where we had the content cop on H3 that went very poorly, and a lot of people turned to Morenstein and were like, hey, why are you still doing this event? This guy's a clown. And then apparently a lot of people were going after him, and he's been arguing with people over various things and hot button issues and stuff. And I think it's made him just not want to be a part of any of this, and he has now dropped out, which gets very interesting. Refunds are now guaranteed. So under Florida law, the statute here that directly talks about ticket refunds, read this first part. Upon the postponement, substitution of either participant or cancellation of the main event or the entire program of the matches, the promoter shall refund the full purchase price of a ticket to each person presenting a ticket for a refund within 30 days after the scheduled date of the events. Yup, rip bozo. They have to give refunds or they're breaking the law. And that was something that a lot of people were criticizing. Their refund policy was basically no refunds. Well, now because of this substitution of one of the participants, they have to give refunds if requested, which is just a nightmare scenario for everyone involved. But now we move on to this here, a post from Ethan Klein, H3H3 Productions here, saying, how's that content cop working out for you guys? Maybe Tectone will join the card, referring to Harley dropping out. Now, a couple things here. First, I think Tectone was joking about joining Creator Clash 3, but eventually said he wouldn't do it. I don't know if he was actually invited by Idubbbz, but he said he wasn't going to participate in this event. But also, you can see Ethan Klein bringing up the content cop. And how do you not bring it up in this context? It was an absolute terrible decision. You can see the dislikes are climbing to this day. 359,000 likes versus 528,000 dislikes. This was a terrible, terrible decision. Idubbbz revitalizing a series he said was too mean-spirited to backstab his former friend in a very bizarre takedown where he employed a gaggle of some of the most unlikable individuals on the internet to try to do it, and it just blew up in his face. Now, is this the main reason why Creator Clash 3 is failing? No. But it's definitely a part. I think it made things worse. I think Creator Clash 3 was already cooked at this point, and then he makes this content cop, and it just made it even worse. He basically burned any goodwill he had left with the general community, and now people really don't want to support anything he has to do with. And I've seen two kind of prevailing thoughts about the content cop in relation to Creator Clash. I've seen some people say this was a desperate cash grab, that Ian is trying very hard to bankroll Creator Clash 3, so he came out with this content cop. And I gotta be honest with you, and we'll see some more proof in a second to back this up, he would need like 10 content cops to even like start digging himself out of this hole he's created for himself, because man, oh man, like it's pretty rough right now. He'd have to go after like every single target out there, right? He's gonna have to make a content cop PewDiePie, content cop Asmongold, content cop Mr. Beast, content cop Filthy Frank, just backstab some more former friends for content, And obviously that didn't work out. That's not going to be enough no matter what. But then there's also the other comment people are making about this, where unironically some people believe this was an attempt to garner more supports for Creator Clash 3, to get some more hype surrounding it. And if that was their intention, that blew up in their face once again. Looking at the Ticketmaster selections here, this is really brutal. Okay, this event is about 2 months away, and the blue that you're seeing is empty seats. That's pretty much the whole stadium, which, by the way, the stadium, I believe it has a capacity of 21,000 people. I'm sorry, but Idubbbz was smoking crack if he thought he was going to sell 21,000 tickets to this event. I'm genuinely convinced, and I will show you why in a second, that even if they just said, screw it, it's free, anyone can come, they still wouldn't sell out. They still wouldn't fill out this entire stadium. There's no way. I just don't think there's enough interest in this right now. Maybe Idubbbz back in 2015 might have been able to garner enough support to bring people in for this event, especially given the sort of friend circle and the connections he had back then. But Idubbbz 2025 trying to pull this off, It's lunacy. I don't know how anyone allowed him to go forward with this. It was a terrible idea. Now, here's some more information that makes all of this look even worse. So you see this outer ring, right? A substantial amount of seats, thousands of seats out of the 21,000. It's completely closed off. Yeah, they completely closed this off. They basically bit the bullet on this one, just said, nope, just get rid of all the tickets for that because we're not going to sell them. It's deceiving because if you scroll over this right here, you see, right, oh, well, there's some tickets sold here. No, it is simply people trying to resell their ticket. That's it. There's two people here trying to do that. You know, you zoom in on the other one over here. Same deal. Two people just trying to resell their ticket. So this entire outer ring is empty and it will not be filled by anyone, no matter what. And then you start looking at the areas that are available, even going down here. A pretty good spot, right? Look at all the blue. I mean, it's the majority of the seats, and these are good seats too. Like, there is no interest. Look at this section. This is right near the ring. The whole thing is blue. No one's bought a single ticket. And also, $150 for this? Absolutely no way. What are you, Taylor Swift? There's no way you're selling this. And by the way, that price and all the prices have been slashed already. This is pretty much half of what it was earlier. So even with that discount, people don't want it. People just don't want to be a part of this event. This looks absolutely terrible. I don't know what could even save it at this point. I mean, they literally would have to, like, Idubbbz would have to box Sam Hyde or something. Or like they'd have to bring in Frogan and have her box Tectone or something like that. I literally don't know what they could do to save this event because there's just apathy. People just aren't even interested in this. It's not even the bad reputation of Idubbbz. There was already no hype to begin with, and then anything he's done over the past month has just soured any potential goodwill. They're basically dead in the water at this point. But of course, it gets worse. It somehow gets worse. You can see here, Idubbbz Creator Clash 3 event is also on the same day as UFC. It's never been so over. So they announced a major matchup on the same day as Creator Clash. And this happened obviously after Creator Clash 3 was set in terms of a date. So this is just like, are you going to buy two pay-per-view events on the same day? No, I would say like 99% of people wouldn't even consider that. So yeah, that's a big blow because guess what? UFC is a little bit more popular than Creator Clash. So I think people will make a choice of one over the other if pressed. But things are getting really desperate. This came out, I believe, yesterday, where apparently now Idubbbz has asked Ice Poseidon to join Creator Clash 3.
I got invited to box Idubbbz in his event, his boxing event for Creator Clash, but I had to decline that because if I were to lose the Idubbbz, I would be extremely embarrassed.
Fair. I understand why he wouldn't even want to take the risk of that happening, but yeah, you know things are really bad when Idubbbz is asking Ice Poseidon, not to get into like a big discourse about Ice Poseidon, but he's considered a very controversial guy. Like, in the eyes of someone like Idubbbz, he would be quote-unquote problematic. So the fact that he's resorting to asking Ice Poseidon to join, things are not looking good. And also, like, look, man, you can get people to do a boxing event and punch each other in the face and risk getting hurt or embarrassed if they're getting paid and it's a good, successful event. But when it's a struggling event where you're probably not even going to get your money covered unless like someone else intervenes at the end, why would you want to engage in this? Like, it's really not worth the risk if you're someone who's just doing it to basically make an appearance. So, of course, obviously as a result, Ethan Klein is mocking that, saying Tectone declined, Ice Poseidon declined. Next invites. Next, they can try bailing out Vitaly and Johnny Somali. Yeah, I guess they would be available if it wasn't for the fact that they're trapped in their various countries they went to nuisance stream in. But yeah, that's pretty much all he's got left at this point. Now, overall, people are looking at this situation. Creator Clash 3 is an absolute wreck. And at the end of the day, after this content cop and really the entire last year, 2, maybe even 3 years, Idubbbz is collecting major L's, and Ethan Klein has a major W. And whether you like the guy or not, he came out on top of this, and he even said Creator Clash 3 was going to be a disaster.
You guys are being bad. You know, I don't think you're bad people, but you're being bad.
I think, actually, let me say, I think you're bad people. I think you and Anissa are disgusting, evil, rotten people that have capitalized on a dog pile to add to an insane harassment campaign that's been leveled against me. You guys took the opportunity to jump on top, take an easy dub to try to revitalize your dead fucking career, because you're about to do Creator Clash 3, which is obviously going to be a disaster, and you are preparing for that eventuality, and you're using me as a stepping stone. But guess what? This stepping stone is loose, bitch, and it's like one of those trap stepping stones where you step on it, but it goes in the water and you fall into the swamp. That's what he stepped on. Oh, trapped him.
So that's basically where we're at with this Creator Clash 3 situation. As I pointed out earlier in the video, they're going to be making a public statement, but until then, we're just going to have to wait and see what they're saying. But before we go, a reminder that yesterday we started a new BOGO sale at Advanced GG. If you use the link in the pinned comment and use code REVBOGO at checkout, you can buy one, get one free off of Advanced GG's various flavor jars. They even brought back some of the limited edition flavors of mine, the official Rev flavor jars like Rev's Blueberry Sparkle, as well as Rev's Sour Rainbow Candy. And of course, you have the ever-present Rocket Pop, which is a fan favorite. All you got to do is hit add to cart once and then twice after you selected your 2 favorite flavors. I recommend all of them. They're delicious. People really love them. And then as you'll see in your cart, you'll make a pretty big saving. I just added 2 in here. You're saving $35. That's a pretty good deal if you ask me. So again, use the link in the pinned comment and code REVBOGO at checkout to buy one and get one free. So thanks for supporting me on that, and that will do it for this video. As always, feel free to share your thoughts about today's topics in the comment section down below. Hope you guys enjoyed the video, and I'll see you next time.